right, how we doing, guys? Sam here with you. It's Monday, January 7th, and we're going to do a quick update here on Bitcoin. I'm really focusing off of this move here from this low down here at 3,200, and we'll look at both the bull and the bear case here. I think this is, as we poll members here, and they're interested in, what's happening here, and is the bullish case starting to gain some traction? I think you can make a case for that. We still can't eliminate the bear case here just yet. Right now, we need to. If we got up here to call it 4,500, that's going to start to look better and better, but we're just not quite there yet. So as I see it coming off of this low, and we've been through some of the issues with this low previously, but I think we can make a case here that we have a completed impulse here with this little diagonal to finish us off. Now this is the challenging bit, because for this to play as a 1-2, we're going to have to allow for this ugly C wave here. So we get an A, and then it looks like an ABC, and then we have the very skinny, or we have a truncated fifth here in this last little dip down. So having acknowledged that, we can make a fairly good case here that we've got a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Pardon me, that would be 4 in a row. I left out the big one. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. So it's very bullish, right? It's just going through that. So because the subdivision here is very friendly to this bullish count, I'm starting to lean into this a little bit more. Now, we can look here and say, so if this is our 1, and we're gonna end up with an ABC here down in this 2, well, we can just look at it straight from the probabilities zone here. So first reaction at the 50, second reaction here, they're defending the 618. Potentially that's just a front run. Could be some of this structure here is what held it from getting to the 618. I can get a fairly solid 1 here. Maybe this, it's a little iffy here. Is this the one? Is this the pivot? Is this the pivot? This is slightly higher, so possibly you had a truncation there. But I think whether they're so close here, I think we can just call this level here as our 1. Then we get an ABC down for the 2. This looks like impulsive. ABC down for the 2. This looks like a 1-2. So that it's all playing rather nicely. So I've got up here, I know there's a lot on here. So here are the 200s from these two 1-2s. So I know it's harder to see this. Come here. So if this is the 1 and this is the 2, well, this right here is the 100 of that. So this would be this would be the high probability zone right here. So let me just drop that there. So off of the larger degree, this is our probability zone right up here. Okay, so that would be if we're going to go 1, 2, and we're going to get the full 3. So that would be this right here. But the subdivision suggests there could be more in that. So I'm going all the way up here to, well, we've got the algo target. I'm getting up closer to the 272 here, just kind of playing through the subdivision here. I'm not trying to really call this a target yet, other than the algo play that's there. So if I go 1, 2, if we're going to go beyond this to get to a larger 3, well, then the subdivision here has to support that. So we could get up to if this is going to really run, we've got the 2618 here as a contender. So all of this would be a function of some of that smaller subdivision. So 1, 2, this would be the extreme for that leg. Let me get you up here, right? So that would be the extreme for this 1, 2. If we got a 2618 out of that, well, remember, all right, if this is a 1, 2, the big 3 is up here, right? That's going to be our. I've shown that enough times. So this will be our 1618 from this 1, 2, particularly since we came close to the 618 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the subdivision has to play for us to get up there. I could probably move this over. And so far it's right on track. There's nothing here to dispute that or to suggest that this is unlikely. So far 1, 2 could be the 3. So if that's 1, 2, well, then we're looking for an impulse if we're going to get that far, or maybe we're not, maybe we're just going here. But if that's 1, 2, well, then we need a 1, 2 and then another 1, 2, right? So this little kick here, if we get this, if that's our 4 to our 5, excuse me, then this potentially is a 3 of the smaller degree. So I'm going to pull this one off just to clear up the chart. So this now we have, let me show you again here. So this would be the 1, 2 here. 1, 2, we'd be looking for this 3. Well, here's the high probability zone, 4, 5. So let's see if I can change that color. There we go. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potentially there. All right, so this would be 3, 4. Now, again, I'm just kind of eyeballing here for just symmetry. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, if that's a 1, 2, I need an impulse here. So far, this looks promising, right? It's a little squirrely here for the 4. Hard to say if this is the 4, and then maybe that's a 1, 2. But we certainly want to see this hold. So it's this structure here that's holding it, right? So here's the prior resistance. It's come into play potentially here now as our support here. So if we get this little kick up here to complete, well, then we've got a pretty strong case here now for this third to be in. So of this 1, 2 here in blue, so how do we confirm? Well, we can't really confirm until we see whether we get the 4, 5. Then it all starts to look better as all the subdivision is right in sync. So we're kind of at a critical point here for the bull case. We need the push up for the 5, little retrace, again, structure will likely holds it. And then we need this, this is the critical swing here. We need this 5, right? So we need this 4, 5 to really solidify the idea. Now we'd be taking out this pivot. So from the bear side, there's a count here that's going to start to get beyond the realm of statistical norms here if we go much beyond here. So if you were just looking at the extension on the retracement as we go to an external retracement beyond the 1, 1272, 1382, those are extremes we might consider if the bear case is going to be in play. If this were some sort of an A, B, some sort of an expansion in the B wave, but that's we're not there yet, right? So let's consider that so far it's just the subdivisions of impulses here that seem to be working, right? So there's no reason to assume that this won't go up and complete that 5, unless we start to roll over here, and we don't have the legs to get this last little kick here. So with that, right, it's a little bit premature to be breaking out the bullhorn, but it's starting to look better, right? We're getting a better subdivision off of this low. We still have some uncertainty based on the count, but this series now, this little series here, we're getting higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. It's got potential. So you can a couple of things, we can use some geometry here. What do you use here? We've already broken that, so then you'd look for maybe some median lines here. So if I pull from I'm using the higher pivot, I've got a modifier on this. So I've got what I have here. I think I have, I've got, well, let's get, I do have original. So 1, 2, so we've got a potential. Now this is deep, it's beyond the 618, so we're beyond a golden, but we've got the subdivision here supporting the idea. Now we're over on the edge, so you've got two things you can do. One, we could just add the 200, see if that catches it. And maybe the 1.5 will get us, come here, jeez. Okay, so could be here we're just running in a parallel channel here, so we could run another set of median lines here. But I like where that's it's still teed up here, still a contender. Of course, we'd have the much larger one as well. If we work off of this low down to our 2, right? So that's too many lines here. Let me get that so we can get off the 2. And let's leave the 1.5. Okay, so we still have that as a contender if we're going to go substantially higher. So now that starts to be in play. Note up here, right? So this is the 1, 2. If we're going to get the full 3, well, there's our median line right there, right? So that's the perfect play. Now that would put us up at 5,300. So we'd be working off of this corner pocket, right? There's the median line. I know that's hard to see, but off of this 1, 2, we hold the 618. Now, as long as this pivot holds, we still have 80% odds in play. Right now, we've drifted off to the side. So if we're going to get there, so I guess what I'm trying to say is because we're drifting here, I would still have this up somewhere. You don't want to lose track of that set of median lines. So if you had a quad split of if you're watching Bitcoin here on multiple time frames, somewhere I'd have that set of median lines so you don't lose track of it. right, by getting caught down here in the minutia of this subdivision here. The larger target is very much in play, and that's sitting up there at 5,400. So I would be watching or be mindful of that. It's easy, you know, you draw them, you erase them, you're redoing something, and you forget about the big one that was there all the time. So somewhere have that. You don't even need an Elliott count on it. Just have that set of median lines so you don't lose track of it. So that said, now we're kind of, I don't think we're quite yet here to where, you know, I mean, sure, there's probably a little scalp there. All right, so if you're you know, comfortable with that short-term stuff and you want to just look for a quick pop here, so what do you got there? Maybe a $4,000 to, yeah, it's probably $250 there in terms of a little punchy swing trade here. You could put your stop underneath the pivot of the 1 because this must be an impulse. If this is a 1-2 and then this is going to be our 3, it has to stay impulsive, so a break of the proposed 1 here invalidates that portion of the count. So it's promising, right? Not quite ready to celebrate that we've got a confirmed hard low in, but it's certainly looking better. Now let's not lose track of the bear side, right? So the bear side is acknowledging some of the Elliott issues that we have here in the count, in that this is, you know, hard to call that anything other than a zigzag. We got a 5-3-5 to finish. So the alternate would be that we've come down here into an A, we've gone into an ABC of an expanded flat. So we've got a 3-3-5 into a B wave, which would imply 1 is in. So this structure here, even it's difficult to get 5 as a C or 5 as a 1. So meaning that if this starts to retrace, now we've got, if it's going to be a 2, we've got a clear invalidation point, right? So a 2, right? If this is the 2 here, if the 2 is going in, we can't go beyond the length of the 1. So that if you were on the short side, that, you know, that's a clear invalidation point of this particular count on the idea that 1 is in. So that we'd be in the process of doing this. If this is 1, we're in the ABC. We're still in the range here. We break that count is invalidated. But we might have something coming in like this, so we'd be going down for the 3. Now that implies much lower prices if that's going to be, if this is going to be 1, 2, and we're going down for 3, 4, and 5, that's would put us certainly in, blowing out that low. Right? Still can't rule it out. Right? It's just not. We're not there yet to where we can say, oh, this low is in because of this structure here. It's still problematic. So got to put a channel on it. If we start to break down here, if we get this little kick up here to give us that 5, that would still play as a 2. Could still be just an AB. Right now, now note here, we went right to the 786. We know a 2 will commonly go to the 786. It's a push to get to new highs. If it fails and rolls over here, we get this starting to head down. Right, then you're kind of trying to figure out how that count's going to play with this as your pivot, because this is a very impulsive move. So it doesn't look like we'd be done here. So the 5 of the C would have to be here. Now we're getting, you can kind of just draw it up here. We're getting pretty frothy here to be calling that a 2 if this has got another kick. Now technically, right, as long as we stay under that pivot, but if we get this kind of action here and then we start to come down, well, we'd be looking for a 1 wave here. So the anticipation would be that we're going to get a full 5 wave here. Now if we don't and we get this little kick and we go up for the 5, well, now we've invalidated the count because of the break of that can no longer be a 2. So it's kind of interesting to see how this is going to play out here. Right? It's, of course, me being a long-term bull, I'm rooting for the bull case, but we're just not quite there yet. But it's looking much better, much better. All right, so that's pretty much what I see here. And right, don't feel like you're missing anything, like you have to jump in here. Let some of this get clarity so that we reduce some of the possible scenarios. Right, we're in the process of doing that, but we haven't got it done just yet. All right, guys, so with that, I will wrap there on Bitcoin, and this will be one, we'll be watching this as it develops throughout the course of the week to see if we can get some of these bearish counts invalidated. All right, that's all I got for now. Back to you guys in a little bit.